Happy Saturday and all of that. What's good, people? You guys see the thumbnail. I'm trying to get into some things today. I have questions. Women who put their child's father on child support, are they just bitter baby mamas that need to get a life? Let's talk about it today. While y'all come on in, uh, I'm just going to tell y'all a little bit about the day I've had. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. Per usual, I did my quiet time with God. Then I got out in the field, meaning the streets. I got out in these streets and I took my daughter for driving lessons. Plus, they had to go to the ortho to get their braces tightened. We went out shopping today. I took them out for lunch. It's been a whole day. And your girl is so tired, but it's still early. It's only 5. Listen, I did eat breakfast and I had like some grapes, but I'm cooking dinner. I still got to eat. I got to eat before it gets too late. And if I take a nap first, I don't know, it's going to be too late. So I'm at the crib just chilling in my room, fan going. I turned it down a little bit for you guys, so say thank you. Replay gang, thank you for tuning in. I know some of you like to listen to me when you're at work, when you're on your way home from work, while you're cleaning up. I know you like to listen in while you're driving or whatever it is that you do, but I thank you all for tuning in. Let's be clear. It doesn't matter if you tune in after the live or during the live. I appreciate you just the same. But if you can't get on in here for a live one good time, that's when it's popping. That's when it's really cracking, right? So we can vibe out while I'm on here. But definitely leave me a comment for sure. And let me know that you stopped by. And I'll respond. I always respond to my money getters. So make sure that you let me know that you were here. Also, when you come into the live, be courteous. Say hi. Let me know you're here. Let me know where you're from so I can give you a shout out and welcome you to my channel. Like I said, today we are talking about child support. Should you put child support on your baby daddy, or does that make you bitter? And the reason why I came up with this is because I was scrolling on Facebook, minding my own business, like I always do. And I came across a post, right? Let me read it to y'all. Let me get it. I screenshotted it. Let me see if I can get to it. Okay. So, girlfriend says, my baby daddy randomly texted me asking why I never put him on child support. In my opinion, putting a man with no money on child support is like saying you have no hustle and you're broke and bitter. What? Is you cool? Is you cool, baby mama? Now, I don't know. Sometimes people take captions and they put them next to a picture just for engagement. So I don't know. This could be real or fake. Somebody could have actually wrote it. I don't know. But then there's also a text message. And it says, hey, Haroon, how are you doing today? Hello, where are you chatting with me from? It says, what's her name? Shan Lavelle. Girl, I mean, boy, how come you never put me on child support? And she says, because you a broke ninja. And he asked her, what does that have to do with it? You're from Turkey, Haroon? That's what's up. Welcome. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. And so the baby daddy goes on to say, a lot. With the amount of money you make, I may get about 200 in child support in this economy. That ain't I benefit much more with you actively being in the kids' lives. If they sick, have doctor's appointments, I can call you to get them instead of me taking off work, losing hours. When my mental is messed up, I can call you for a break. When I want to go out and live my life, I can call you instead trying to find a babysitter and have to pay them. Having you physically is way more beneficial than a little 200 and child support. So although you aren't helping financially at all, I get a lot from you actually being in their lives. I'm a hustler, so I can get that little 200, but having to physically and financially take care of these kids on my own would be hard. Look at it like this. I needed you physically to get pregnant and financially. So now I need you physically in these kids' lives. Dang, that's deep. You a real one. Putting a broke ninja on child support is a bitter, broke 304 sport. Hey, Roxy, what's good with you? Hey, Michelle. How you doing? Where you from, Michelle? So, yeah. Your English is not that good? Oh, I'm sorry, Haroon. I can't speak any slower. I'm sorry. Guys, did you hit my like button when you came in this piece? We're talking about child support. And the way this young lady put it is so beautiful, right? Because I'm going to say this. If a man can make a baby, he should know how to take care of a baby. But I do get that people fall on hard times. I get that. But if you're out here and you're doing what it do with a woman, protect yourself so that you don't have a baby you can't take care of. Because the baby doesn't have, um, the baby can't wait on you to get it together. They're hungry now when they come into this world. They're already hungry. They already need diapers. They already need milk. They already need a roof over their heads. And why should a woman have to take care of a child by herself? Now, depending on the age of your kids, I do get that someone needs to be at home with your kids. I know some women, they want to go to work. They don't want to stay home with the kid, but I'm going to tell you how I feel about that in a little bit. Somebody has to go to work. Somebody has to stay home with the kids. Once they get school age and they're old enough, then you can go to work or whatever, both of you. But the responsibility of a kid sounds like a great day. Yeah, I had a great day. I did have a great day, Roxy. Um, but the responsibility of a child should not fall on one parent. I don't care. I don't care what the circumstances are, unless one of the parents falls sick. I the responsibility of raising children should go to both parents. And like I said, one parent should stay home with the kids until they are school age, and then maybe one parent can get a part-time job, but one of the parents should be home when those kids get home from school. And one of you should have a solid job that provides benefits, while the other, this gig is more so for me to have extra money, for me to be able to do extra things with the kids. Because what if you have to take off from work? What if you have to quit that job because of something going on with your kids? You need to be readily available to your kids. And if you should break up with your partner and it's 50-50 custody, then again, the man should have to take care of the woman and those kids. I'm sorry. And I know in today's climate, many people are saying, well, it takes two incomes. Okay, if it takes a man, if a man needs a woman's help, if a man needs a woman's help, then why does he think that she should be able to do it on her own? And I understand what the woman is saying. Yes, the father is helping with childcare, but if you're saying that I can go pick up more hours, I can do this and do that, you know what? I feel you, rocks. I feel you. And I always had my own. I always had my own rocks. I always had what I needed. When I grew up, I just saw way too many women depended on welfare and who didn't have it, or they were single moms. I saw way too much of that. And I said that I was going to get an education so that I could take care of myself and any children I might have. I just never wanted to be that woman who relied on men. But I feel like that was the wrong way to go about it. It really was, because it's not up to the woman to decide if the kid should have that child support or not. Hey Rich, how you doing? What's good? You guys see the topic? Today we are discussing if women should put their baby daddies on child support. What's going on with you today? Hey, entertainment you love, what's good? We got a good topic. I know you're gonna get in on this one. We're talking about should should I put my baby daddy on child support? Right? And you know what? Simply Sunshine. She wants to get in on a conversation about dating in your 40s and 50s. Roxy, we need you for that too. I know you say you don't want to date right now, but we still need you for that. For single women, and if you're not single, if you're married, you could listen in. But that live won't be for the married folks. It just won't, and men either, because we're gonna bash you for real. But like I said, did you guys hit my like button when you came in here? Go ahead and hit your girl's like button. And for those of you who are here for the first time, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. But let's finish getting into this. I feel like it's not up to a woman to decide if a child should have child support or not. It's not up to her to decide if a child should have the finances necessary, because some women, they think they can do it all, but you really can't. And if you're out working and hustling and the father isn't doing his part, then you're taking away time for your child. You're out trying to make it do what it do, but you really should be making sure that your child is straight. I know so many women that when their kids get older, their kids tell them, "You wasn't there for me. When I needed you, you wasn't there for me." They said, "Well, I was out working. I was out making sure I was getting to that bag to make sure that you had a nice home, and I made sure that you had the clothes and shoes that you needed." And the child is like, "But I needed you. I needed you there." So that's why I think it's irresponsible for women not to put men on child support, Roxy. I'm doing great. Can't complain at all. Relaxing and enjoying the weekend. How was your day? I feel like some women do it as a way of wanting the father to support, but then I feel like some women do it to be petty. Uh, some women definitely do it to be petty. Now, this is when a woman is being petty in my book. If he has the child 50% of the time and you have the child 50% of the time, then when the child is with you, the child should be good. And when the child is with the father, the child should be good. Right? So if the child picks up the kid on his Fridays and has the kid until Monday, drops the kid off at school, and then you come pick up your child, then hey, you guys both have households that need to be provided for, and you both are responsible for your kid. Right? Also, if that father, if he's not paying you child support, if he's not giving you money, but that the kid is on his medical insurance from work, he's paying for that. And when it's time to get the kid's school clothes, he's there for that. If it's a birthday party, anything the kid needs, he's there to provide. And he's an actively involved parent, right? He's not giving you money every month, but he's active and your kid doesn't need for anything, then it is petty. Because sometimes what women do is they will, hey, Focal Point, thanks for tuning in. Sometimes what women would do is they'll see that their baby daddy got a new girlfriend or a new woman, and they get mad about that. And so they run to the child support, down to the child support office, like, "Oh no, oh, you got a new girlfriend? Oh, you ain't putting it down like you used to? Oh no, boy. It's good." It's about to be on, and they want to drag them to court. Then they want full custody of the kids. They don't want the baby or the child around the father. And I think that's when a woman is being petty. But then you have some fathers on the flip side of that who they have a child with you, and as long as you guys are in a relationship, as long as you guys are on good terms, as long as he feel like he can still drop by and drop that thing off, then he'll do whatever for the kids. I believe as long as that man taking care of them children, ain't no way we gonna put the officials into it. I was just saying that, and I agree. As long as we are co-parenting and we're seeing eye to eye, it doesn't matter if he has a girlfriend. It doesn't matter if I have a boyfriend. Like we didn't work. We didn't work. We tried. We didn't work. But now it should be about the kids. And even if he should lose his job, and he's in between jobs, or maybe you as a woman, maybe things got a little tight. Maybe they cut your hours at work, or your car broke down or something like that, and maybe your child needs something a little more, or maybe you might say, you know what, I hate to ask you, but do you think you can give a little more on food this month because I'm a little short, and you guys can work something out that way. Or he may tell you, you know what, I know Nene got school coming up, but my car broke down, I can't help you with school this time. That's how you work together and compromise. It's levels to it for sure, but I agree with you in focal point. As long as the father is doing his duties on the regular, then he shouldn't be put on child support. Exactly, Richard. That's exactly it. As long as the father is doing his part, anything can happen to anybody, right? Car accident, somebody can get sick. So why, you know, hold somebody's feet to the fire if they can't do it, right? Especially if you know they're good for it for the majority of the time. Hey, Elevate, what's up? What's up? Thanks for tuning in. And if you don't got kids, right? Because I'm ready to get real, real ghetto with it. I'm telling you. So if you don't have kids and this is not you, please don't be offended. If he's an active father, no. Some women are bitter and get mad about him moving on. That's crazy. It's about the kids. That's true, Yo Yo. It's about the kids. It should always be about the kids. But Yo Yo, let me play. I'm not gonna say that type of advocate, but let me just uh, play the bitter mama. Play the opposite of that, right? Let me just say that. How is it that? How is it that a woman is bitter, right, about a man moving on because she wants her child support, and a man isn't doing what he's supposed to do, right? You can be active and you can be involved. You can come take the kids to the park. You can come pick them up on the weekends, but I'm doing all this work by myself, right? I'm doing everything. I'm making sure they eat, they have snacks at school, they have money for field trips. I'm making sure that Junior is getting to football practice. He had all of his fees for football this year. You're doing nothing. Yeah, it's cool. You're at the football field helping him practice, but come on, I need some help. I can't do it all. Okay. If you get child support, I feel like it should go to the kid. It's not for the baby mama to be out partying and getting her hair and nails done. True, Yo Yo, but let's break this down. What is child support for? It's for support of the child. And a lot of people say, well, you got to pay rent and bills anyway. Yeah, that's true, but my light bill wouldn't be as high without your hookhead son on the game, and in here, and my water bill wouldn't be as high without your nappy headed daughter in there, washing her hair and doing her lashes and all that. I got to buy more Tide because we had these babies. I had to buy more food to support these kids. So if it was just me, I would have my bills, right? But since I have our kids, Since I have our children and I want to make sure that they are straight, more than straight, then I need a little assistance with that. And I'm working. I'm working. If I'm working, you need to be working. I don't care where it's at, right? Bitter is an utter statement. That ain't bitter. Two people had the baby, so two people need to take care of it. Absolutely, focal point extension. Two people need to take care of the baby, guys. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you. Most of the time, she didn't put him on it until he moved on. You think that's most of the time? And let me get back to what. Hey, Trisha, what's good? How are you doing? You guys hit my like button when you come in, please. I see a few of you coming in, but not hitting the like button. I feel like child support is for feeding the kids, extracurricular activities, gas money to get them back and forth to school, braces, um, uh, what is it? Co-pays, school lunch, snacks, anything that happens at the school, they projects, um, clothes, shoes. And if you got girls like me, then I spend like $400 or $500 a month getting their hair done. Haircuts for the boys, lotion, hygiene products, all that. And if you have girls, they need extra hygiene. They got that time of the month and all that. What else do they need? Um, I mean, the kids need a lot. Kids need a lot. And like I said before, like at the top of it, like if you can't afford what a kid actually needs to exist in this world, and this goes for both men and women, then you shouldn't be doing the mattress mambo. Like, put some ice down there. I was never given a chance. As soon as I left the abuse and I was put on child support immediately. You was put on it immediately? That's messed up if she didn't give you a chance. That's messed up. But some fathers, they'll put themselves on child support. And sometimes that work against the woman. I know situations where a woman wanted to put her child's father on child support, or she wanted more and the judge actually gave less. So sometimes that can work out for your benefit, especially if you do the joint custody route. That really throw a monkey wrench in her plan, right? It's death most of the time in both ways if the father is putting the BM on child support or if the mother putting the father on child support. It's death most of the time. What's the most of the time that they're being bitter, Richie? From my experience, the only time the woman goes to seek child support is if the man is not stepping up, not because she's bitter, not because she needs the extra funny, but because fair is fair, fair. I agree. I don't know too many women focal point who I know a lot of women who play that you can't see my baby game. I know a lot of women who do that. Like if the man moves on, um, or something like that. And I know a lot of women who will play with that child support stuff. They'll play that child support game, and you can't see my child in a minute if they get their heart broke. I see a lot of women who do that. But I feel like the majority of the time it's women. Some women, most women will go without it. They be like, keep them little $20, $30. I don't need that. I don't even want that $20 because they get it. Because when they do put them on child support, they get a check for 58 cents or $23. And if he did work, if he happened to work, maybe they can luck up and get his taxes, right? Most of the time they are bitter. Elevator, you are right. There are bitter people out there in the world. This world is a cold, cruel place for sure. For sure, for sure. It gets real iffy out here in this world. But I just know when I was growing up, I seen a lot of single mothers doing it on their own. I did see some single mothers who, like I said, when their kids got older, all of a sudden they would get a lump sum because the father finally start working or he came into some money and that child support was debt was still there hanging over his head. So he had to give that money up. He had to give that loot up, or he couldn't sell a home, or he couldn't get his taxes, or he couldn't get a job because he couldn't get his license. And that's when they finally were able to get the money. But how I see it is, if you give me child support, it's going to my kids, because that's how my money goes anyway. If you know your baby mama is, or your child's mother, right? If you know that she's going to take care of your kid, then I think it's kind of crazy to be like, no, let me buy the shoes, or no, let me I'll pay for their clothes. Send her the money, because you already know that money's going to the kid. If anything, the man be bitter because the woman step up and ask for what's right, and then he feel like if he paid child support, he doesn't have to do anything for the child physically or mentally. I know, I know some women who was like, look, please just get the kids shoes for school. Just get them some shoes. Like, I got the clothes, I got the backpacks. I just need help get the shoes, or just give me $50 a piece. Give me $250 a month. They didn't want to do that. So then, when the woman finally said, after begging for help, when she finally said, I'm gonna go to child support on you, then she's wrong, because now he got to pay five, six, $700 a month, right? Or I've seen examples of men who pay child support and they don't want to do anything else. They get $400 or $500 a month. They think that that's everything that a child needs. And I think I don't know the numbers, but the last I checked, it's $25,000 a year to take care of a child. Now, I do feel like this. I do feel like this. A woman, if you have your own home and you're running your own household, then a man is not responsible for you and the kid. He's only responsible for his child. Like, you got to work and you got to do what you got to do. If I'm a guy, if I'm a man, I would want my child to be safe with the child's mother if she could be trusted like that. I would rather that my child's mother stay home with the kid and took care of them, right? So that they don't have to go to daycare and possibly be mistreated, right? Because sometimes that's what happens. You're working, he's working, and then your kid is at daycare or after school care all day. Who's spending time with the kid, right? So that's why I feel like somebody has to work and somebody has to stay home with the kids. And that's why child support is so important, because what ends up happening most of the time is women get, and now it's changing a little bit because men are stepping up and saying, hey, I want my kid half of the time. There's no reason why my kid needs to be with you all of the time. I can take care of my kid half of the time too. So if he has a kid half of the time, then you really don't need child support, right? Let him have his child and go on about his business. Let him have the child every other week. So you can work 2 weeks out the month without having to worry about how your child is getting to school. You don't have to worry about having dinner ready when a kid gets home. You don't have to worry about homework or any of that. But fellas, when you get your kid half the time, make sure you have the kids' clothes set up at your house. Make sure you have their bedroom set up at your house. Make sure you're taking the kid to school. You shouldn't have to ask the mother for anything. You shouldn't have to ask where's his medical insurance card at, unless the judge has already said you need to, the mother is going to have medical insurance, and father, you're going to do this, because sometimes that's an arrangement. Or if the father has better insurance, then maybe the mother says, okay, you have the child on your medical and I'll pay the copays, however you have it set up. It's just a shame that people can't be adults, right? You feel me, yo yo? Like, people should be able to be adults. I always felt like you shouldn't have children by somebody that you're going to be with forever. Not saying that you don't want that to be the case, but you should have children with a person who's going to love your kid forever, and a person who's going to be responsible when it comes to your kid. Sometimes that might be hard to see, because a man, in my experience and in my opinion, he is going to love on his child and take care of his child as long as he's with the woman. But if he's gone, if he's not in the house anymore, it takes a real solid man to still go back to that home and take care of that child and that woman, especially if he moves on. If he moves on, it's hard for a man to be two places at one time. Even if his new wife doesn't have a problem with it. If he moved on, he moved on. Like, I moved on from you and the kid. So sometimes people will say, well, she's being bitter because he moved on. No, sometimes a man, he just feels like it's just too much trying to take care of this house, trying to take care of that house. I got a new kid. Especially, don't let them get remarried and have more kids. It's like they feel like they're being pulled in different directions. Hey, Mama Three, what's going on? How are you doing? I know that your little one is with um, their father this weekend. I don't know if you want to chime in on the child support topic. I don't know how much of that you want to share with us, but chime in. I think for those in the be at situations, you better have clothes and shoes too, because they only coming with what they have on. Some people will do that. I know some people, they send their kids um with a diaper on. Like, you get them dressed when they get there. They'll send the little girl without her hair comb. They'll send, and come on now, like, that's still your child. Send your kid with looking the best, because you don't want your kid going somewhere not looking right. But then sometimes they don't get those clothes back, or the kid comes home and they looking rough. I sent my kid to you with their hair combed, with a new outfit on. Send them back the way I gave them to you, right? I hear the stories all the time about clothes not coming back home. See what I'm saying? I hadn't even read your comment yet, yo yo. Or your talk texting. Okay. So yeah, it just takes maturity and respect. But I don't understand that, like, why men feel like if I'm not with her no more, and she got to take care of those babies anyway, and then they don't want to come get the kid on it. They'll ask for 50-50 custody, but they don't come get the kid like they should, or the kids like they should, or they don't want to pay the child support, so they don't work, right? They play all kinds of games like that. And so a woman is pretty much stuck being responsible fully for a child. I see that happening more than I see a woman being bitter, because let's think about it. Me as a mom, my kids wasn't going nowhere, so um I don't care if you are the father. My kids can't come. My kids can't go nowhere where I can't see them. I wasn't playing that game. But I know so many women that just want to break. They have 3 or 4 kids. Maybe they're like 7, 8, and 9, and they're tired. They would love for the father to come in their lives. They don't even want child support. Just come pick them up. And then you don't want to look at a kid's face being all sad because daddy is mad because mom put child support on him, or daddy is mad because mama moved on, right? Or daddy has a new girlfriend, so he's spending his time with her, and he really can't see how to divide his time up. And then now the mom has to look at the kid and be like, that's okay. The kid is waiting on the porch. Dad said he'll be here at 1. Now it's 5, and the kid's still waiting on the porch with his fresh haircut and his new, shoes. And daddy ain't came yet and picked him up. Daddy is no call, no show. That would make me put you on child support. You had hurt my son. That's when I would be bitter. My son is out here with his football or his basketball on the porch, bouncing the ball, waiting. He done been out here since 12 p.m. and now it's 5 or 6 and you ain't showed up. But I'm getting calls. You was walking in the mall holding hands with some big boy. Oh yeah, I'm calling them people on you. You're not going to play with playing my son's face like that. I don't even have sons. I'm just saying. I don't have sons. But no, you're not about to play in my son or my daughter's face like that. Stop. You're not about to play with me like that when it comes to mine. You pick them up and you go show them some love and some attention and drop them back off if you need to. But if you say you're going to be here, be here. If it's their birthday, be there. I done called you and gave you their schedule this year. They got football practice. They got ballet. They got a recital coming up and you can't show up. But you out hanging with your boys on the block, chilling. I got a problem with that. That's going to make me go to those people and be that bitter baby mama. Because you should have been there for your kid. You know, me personally, I'm not going to do that because I'm like this. Look, if you're not doing it out of love, if you don't want to step up and do what you got to do, bye. I got my kids. I got the barbs. That's one thing I'm going to do is serve God and love my babies. I don't care about somebody being there and not doing their part. But for my kids' sake, I do care. And that's going to make me want to do all kinds of stuff to you. But I'm just glad that I got my kids and they're safe. They got what they need. And I'm going to give them all the love that they need. That's necessary. But kids do need their father. So if you're a father listening to this is not to bash you. I'm just saying step up. And if you say you're going to be there for that kid. Those kids need you. And women, if your kids have a father that's there and willing to step up and do what they need to do, it doesn't matter if he's not with you anymore. It doesn't matter if he has a woman. As long as that woman knows her place and knows that she can't come between your child's father and your kids, you ain't got nothing to say to her or him. When she come, if he got her with him when he come, just say, hi, how you doing? Hey, how you doing, girl? Y'all have a good time. As long as he doesn't have your kids around a different woman every time you see him. And as long as he knows that, hey, and it should be an agreement. It should be an agreement. First of all, it should be an agreement set in stone already. You're not going to have the kids around somebody that you haven't been with for X amount of time, and I won't either. Like if we're dating someone, if we haven't dated them for at least a year, then they can't come around the kids. Also, if we haven't met that person you're dating and had a conversation and we haven't gotten to know them to determine, hey, is my kid okay with this person, to catch their vibe, then the kid shouldn't be around somebody like that. And that's not controlling. That's not trying to tell somebody what to do or have something to say about somebody's life. That's for the protection of the kids. Too often women get with men, they just meet them, move them in, and then the kids get abused, or the new guy wants to tell you your baby daddy can't come to his house and now the kids can't come over there, and why are you on the phone with him? No, that shouldn't be the case at all. At all. That don't lie to the kids. Right, yo, that ain't bitter. You standing on business. That's exactly what I'm saying. You didn't make that baby alone. Right. Right. Because how can you call me bitter if 3 times you were supposed to pick up your kids and 3 times you didn't? If you keep lying to your children and telling them you're going to be there for them, you're going to have to take accountability for that. Official, I want official child custody papers with your visitation time. I want I want the courts to know that you were supposed to come XYZ time and you did not come. So we can structure this accordingly. Maybe you get 1 8-hour supervised visit a month until you can understand that what you're doing is hurting your kid. Because why would I have to have my child ready at a certain time for you to pick up because the court says I have to and you don't do it? It's some trifling women out there too that leaves the responsibility on the man. There is some trifling women out there, and we don't want to leave them out. We don't want to leave them out. But I'm going to leave that to Elevate or one of the fathers to go in on the trifling women. Because I know some of y'all got some trifling baby mamas, but we're not on the trifling baby mamas today, yo. We're not on it. We're on the women who, well, I guess we kind of are women who are bitter baby mamas, kind of like, but some women, they get called bitter baby mama. They get called broke, um, and they're accused of just wanting to take a man down just because they want it to be set in stone the amount he's supposed to give. I'm lucky my boys have their dabs. Absolutely, Mama Three. If your child's father is in their life, I know some men who like I said, they'll go to the court and put themselves on child support, and they'll go to court and ask for custody of their kids. And men have the right to do that. Men have a right to do that. I don't know why men run scared from child support and going to court and getting their custody. A woman doesn't have a right to take the kids and say, this is what's going on with them, or to take you to court. Beat her to it. If you're a solid guy and you want to be in your kid's life, beat that woman to it. Go to court and say, hey, I want to establish paternity. Make sure that kid is yours, because it's a lot of you men paying for kids that don't even belong to you. It's a lot of men paying for kids that don't belong to you. I know people that has happened to. They have paid for 18 years plus help pay for college and everything, and now they find out years later the kid isn't even theirs. The kid isn't even theirs. I think, and this is the part where some of the women might find fault with me or might get an attitude, but I think when you have a baby, when you're in that hospital, when they take that kid's blood and they want to give them that Hep B shot before they leave the hospital, swab their cheeks too. Swab their cheeks before they leave that hospital and do a DNA. Do a Dana on those kids before they leave that hospital, because that'll keep women more honest and that will help men in the long run. Because a lot of y'all think that baby looks like y'all, but what they say, some of us, we all look alike anyway. I've looked at somebody's baby before and told that man, oh, your baby looked just like you. She looked just like you. Wasn't even his doggone child. That was not his baby. So, especially if you're not married, even if you are married, a lot of y'all think you can trust somebody. You think, oh, they would never do that to me. But let me tell you something. I'll give you a story. One time I was pregnant with my last child, Raven, and when through Kaiser, when you have a baby, when you're pregnant, they automatically do a HIV test on you, because, and I didn't know this. I didn't know this until I had my babies with Kaiser. They said that if you have HIV, then they can prevent the baby from getting it, but they have to know. So whatever they're going to do, they'll do something probably while you're pregnant, maybe give you some type of antiviral medication. I don't know. I haven't done a research on it, but they said they can prevent the child from getting it too. That's good to know. So anyway, I was getting my results, and because they do a whole panel on you to make sure that you're good and the baby is good, because the baby has to pass through the birth canal, and they want to make sure. I know somebody, well, I didn't know him personally. I knew this person, and it got out that they actually had the clap, if you guys know what that is, and they didn't know it. I don't know how you didn't know it. Bad insurance, I guess. Bad HMO. I don't know. And the baby either came out blind or something like that, or the baby got sick. The baby came out special needs or something because they had that. And when they gave birth, the baby got that. I don't know. But long story short, short story long, when I had my last child, I said I wanted my results back. I just wanted them back. And the doctor was like, "Oh, you don't have anything. You're good." I was like, "I know." And we were just talking, and I was like, wouldn't that be sad to be pregnant and have some type of, something like that, and you're pregnant? And she said, and the doctor looked me in my face and she said, "Oh no, honey, that's not all. I can't tell you how many women come in here pregnant and they don't know if they're pregnant by their husband." And I was like, shut the front door. And this was not, at that time, Kaiser was not a place where it's just like, you know, poor people or black and brown people. This was a hospital with a doctor's office that was, you know, primarily clear people. So don't try to put that off on poor broke people, because y'all, right, stop at CVS where that child is with you. I'm not elevated. I'm so serious. I am so serious. Um, she said that so many women come in there, and listen, where I worked at, some of you guys know the type of job I had, and I used to work 2.5 days at a time. So that meant we stayed over. I can't tell you how many women were going in men's bedrooms. Not me, because your girl don't rock like that. But I'm classy. I'm real classy. But I would find out, and because I'm not like that, I would always be the last to know. I on the work gossip, but it was so many women who had husbands at home, and their husbands didn't know that they were sleeping with somebody else at work, and they let their husband believe that that was their child. One girl did this, right? Because sometimes everybody doesn't sleep at work. Only in the camps, some people just work overnight. So when you working overnight, um, it can go down, right? So a lot of people will have affairs because they just work so much together. Like, you're at work more than you're at home. But this one guy, he said, if that's my baby, I want something to do with it. So she had the baby, and the guy went and took her to court and had her do a paternity test, which is rare. Like, most men, like, okay, if you tell your husband that's his baby, then that's his baby. But he wanted his kid, and he took her to court for that. But that's what has to happen, I think. So because if you're married to a woman, the paternity is automatically on the father. It does not matter. The name can go on a birth certificate. It's already a given. That's how the law works. That if in most states, your state might be different, but I know in the state of California, if I am married, then automatically the child's father's name goes on the birth certificate, and he has to accept paternity for that child, unless, you know, he does something early on and say, "Hey, hold on, that's not my kid." That's how Arnold Schwarzenegger got found out, because he was with the maid, uh, fooling around with her, and when the husband divorced the maid, um, he said, "Hey, that's not my kid," and he told. And I don't know how they got away with that anyway, because that baby looked just like Arnold. I'm sure that they already thought that, but they didn't want to believe it. But he said, "Nope, that's not my kid." That's how a lot of kids found out that the dad that they grew up with, believing was their father. That's how a lot of kids found out, because a woman. Now how crazy is this? If you know doggone well it's not his baby, and you were out doing this and that, but he was with you, and he claimed the baby anyway, why would you go taking that man to child support court and you know it's not his kid? Why? That's crazy. Hey, Osman, it's still evening here. Where did you say you was, Osman? I forgot where you said you were. Remind me. But thanks for tuning in. We're talking about child support and women who put their baby daddies or their kids' fathers on child support. Are they bitter? Are they bitter baby mamas? But yeah, a lot of kids grew up to be 20, 21. I don't know, they got 16, 17 and 13, 14. They have been calling the man dad all their life and then found out that wasn't their father. Women, you should be ashamed of yourself because you shouldn't have your child calling somebody daddy and that's not their daddy. That's cold blooded. I'm good too. Allah Madula. I can't say it back. But yes, blessings to you, Osman. Blessings to you. My family is good today. We were out today. I gave my daughter driver's lessons. I guess she's trying to pick it up finally. This girl, we've been all summer long with the driver's lessons. Then we actually had a Saturday dentist appointment. And then we went out for lunch. And then we did some shopping. I got a shopping video coming for you guys tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. And I wanted to get some red snapper to throw in the oven, but Walmart was out. And the one that they had at Stater Brothers was like something that you would feed a pterodactyl. So I didn't get my fish. So, you know, after all I did as a mom, after all the hard work I did as a mom today, I couldn't get my fish. So I am making some jerk chicken wings. So we'll see how that goes. But yes, thank you everybody for tuning in. I just want to get you guys input on this subject. Thank you for your comments and for your engagement as well. Dieu merci in French. Oh, you know, see, let's look at you. How many languages do you speak, Osman? I actually have two languages. I sign. Um, I'm well versed in American Sign Language, low key, and I speak English. So I guess you can call me bilingual a little bit, but I don't know how to pronounce French. So you can speak English, French, and Arabic. That's what's up. That's so dope. I can't read that. You know that. Um, but yes, I think to sum it up, I think that men should definitely um, have and women get mad. Oh, I know where I been at. That's insulting. Where if you know where you been, and you know who you have been with, then you don't have nothing to worry about. You don't have nothing to worry about. And as soon as you go and get the paperwork proving that the child is who they belong to, then set up, hey, let's go set up something just in case, you want to run off and leave me hanging, holding this baby by myself. Let's go put something in writing. Let's go do an agreement that should we separate or should, like if you just going together, that's why y'all shouldn't be shacking up going together. Get married so you guys can have a solid foundation for your kids. I'm not trying to tell people what to do. I'm just saying it works better that way. But if you didn't get married, if you just had a child together and you was just boyfriend and girlfriend, just shacking up, once you had the paperwork that baby belongs to you, right? Then go sign some type of arrangement that should you break up, this is what's going to happen. This is the type of custody that we have. This is just so you can always have it. You probably might not never need it. You may never need it, but that'll save a lot of problems. It'll solve a lot of problems. You agree with that, Elevated? I knew you would, because like I said, a lot of these brothers, a lot of times, a man may think that's not my child. Or they may not want it to be their child because they really wasn't into the woman. Some people say, well, a man is going to treat the child the way he treats the woman. Like if he loves a woman, that's how he's going to love a kid. But I seen men that act like they were totally, completely in love with a woman while they were together. But then when they separated and they weren't together anymore, he didn't know that kid. So, you know, you can't go by that, right? You get with somebody and you have deep affection for them and you love them, but then as time goes on, you guys may fall out of love. You still got to be responsible for whatever you did in that relationship, right? When you have a kid, it's just so hard to just say, you know what, wipe your hands of somebody and move on. Like if I was a man, I'm not a man, so I don't know how a man feels, but I'm just saying I wouldn't want to have a child in this world that I never see and that I never take care of. If I had a child with you and I'm having a hard time taking care of the child I have with you, then why would I have another kid? I need to go get a vasectomy or something so that I don't have any more kids. I already got two or three with you. I don't want a bunch of baby mamas, or I don't want the responsibility of taking care of this household and trying to take care of another one. It's very simple. That's another thing that should be agreed upon as well. After we have our two or three babies, you go snip, you go get snip. Ain't no more baby daddies. Ain't no more baby mamas coming up in this. This is us. This is us. Shoot, y'all can maybe have it too. Uh, Solidify that, you know what, even if we break up, then we can't bring anybody around our kids at all, ever. Because I'm that type of mama. You're not coming around my kids. You're not coming around my kids. A man I date is never going to come around my kids. So, yeah, that's just how I feel about it. But let me know, what do you guys think? Should, if a man and a woman break up, should a woman even have to put him on child support? Should the man just go put himself on child support to alleviate all the drama and the problems? Should they have a DNA test when the child is born? Just alleviate the problems. Then if the child is not the man's, he could decide if he want to move on or claim the baby or whatever. Or if the child is his, then they're good to go. I know for sure this is my kid. I know for sure I love you. Let's proceed. Thank you, Osmain, for coming in. Good night to you. The DNA test at birth would stop a lot of drama elevated. It certainly would. It would alleviate a bunch of BS. It sure would, because so many women play that game of, I'm going to put the baby on whichever man I like the most, or whichever one is the biggest sucker. They know that that baby couldn't possibly be that man's baby, or they know that they've been with more than one person around the time of conception. They know they had two or three different men. So they don't know who they're pregnant by, which is messed up too, right? So that's why I said give them a DNA test and frame it. Once the kid is his, put it up in a frame. Oh no, this is your kid. This is your kid, and you're going to take care of your child. Right. Oh, it's 3:03 a.m. in France. Ooh, oh, that's why you said good morning. Yeah, get you some sleep, Osman. You up with the chickens over there. And you know what? I think my jerk chicken is done. So thank you guys. I'm going to go ahead and eat. Oh, it's 6 o'clock. I was supposed to be eating. Okay, I'm going to go get my food and enjoy my meal. Find me something to watch because I got a lot more to do tomorrow. I stay busy. Monday through Sunday, 24/7. You guys be good to yourselves and have a good evening and stay blessed. Until next time, have a good night, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you are.